part.
The whole segment, you're gonna watch Batman hallucinate again.
He's hallucinating throughout the whole thing. That's the point. Because the point of the boss fight is we have to figure out which Copperhead is the real Copperhead, so that you can take her down. Because, like I was saying, like I was going to tell you, okay?
He's been punching ninjas.
This was before Arkham Knight came out, because they're working on Arkham Knight, but they needed to throw out a quick game, because how long Arkham Knight was taking them. So, it took them like a fucking week or a month they had to make this game. So they used most of the shit from other Arkham games. They used the map from Arkham City and just changed it up a little bit.
Why would they do
And they took from design because the people designing this game didn't have time to actually work on it.
Why was it gonna do that?
That's why people actually, one of the reasons why people hated this game.
I love this. I love this game.
That's one of the reasons why people hated it when it first came out. But nowadays it started to get more loved.
How many people
Anyway, we got Copperhead.
Well, how many people love it?
Hang on, I gotta do something. Guess what I forgot to do before I started recording, Mom? No, I can do that when we get off this video. I'm saying that's what I'm going to do for now on. I forgot to turn off the brightness.
Hey, over here! Let me down! Get me out of this thing.
Fucked up. Mom, you want me to hang
Where's
like
the
that?
Joker?
I know this is
Go to
that
hell.
does.
Wrong answer.
Also, Mom does
I got escaped.
This ain't your channel right now. We gotta show you all.
This is your channel.
Since we're recording on my phone now.
Okay, I'm over here.
Is
Now
she
I'm
here?
going back over here.
Grab her in. Get her.
It's not time to get hyper.
Okay, that's enough, Henry.
Wait.
We hugged her. We gave Mom a hug.
I don't want.
Boobas.
I feel
She's Spanish.
By my count, there are still 9 more ribs I can
There's
break.
2 fucking Spanish fuckers in this game.
Do you think that'll make me
Well,
talk?
too bad I
That's
know
what
it
he's
is
put me
Spanish.
through. The torture. Turned my men
I
on
ain't telling
me.
you
Stole
all
from
of
me. Murdered my woman. He's my kill, not yours. I can control your pacemaker remotely.
Also, to answer that, Mia, you had that weird face the first time when Black Mask said that. This is during Batman's second year of being Batman, like almost at the end of his second year. So they still believe that he murders people.
And he does not.
Yeah, even though he probably would. I mean, he slams people over his shoulders by their necks.
Well,
He grabs them by their necks like this and then slams them over their shoulders. That would kill someone in real life,
Yeah,
but this
because
is
they're
fictional
evil.
game world.
Yeah, because they're evil.
Okay, can we do the video?
You
Yeah.
want to see what 250 beats per minute feels like? You wouldn't.
Whenever I say we're done. And then we're
Copperhead.
Bella, where the hell have you been, Luca?
It's Twilight. You
something.
can now watch it on Peacock. The whole Twilight movie series.
Tell him and I'll pay you whatever you want. Make him suffer and I'll...
Yeah, that's the movie with the vampires and King Jacob and all that shit. No, I never watched
Couple
it.
of freaks.
No, okay.
They two
I had
deserve
a
each
friend
other.
who was a fan of
What did you do to me?
I killed you.
Because
And in a few more
with
minutes,
movies,
your body
I
will
want to
wake-
get the book versions. If they have comic book versions, I want to get that too.
I've
And
thought about that.
you
I
know,
didn't get into
comparing.
Harry Potter books, 'cause I've got one, but
I don't have the second.
yeah, I got one Harry Potter book. I haven't read.
Sorceress of Stone. I think it is, or Chimera Secret. Which one? Can you go find it?
I think I got Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay,
I can find it after we finish this.
never mind. Well, anyways, I want to start getting the books, and if they have a comic book version, I want to get that too. And I want to compare and contrast how they're different from the movies and what's the same, you know. I want to find out where I can watch that Dogman movie. Because I like the Captain Underpants movie.
Wait, that's a movie?
They made a Dogman movie, guys.
They have one coming out. They have an animated Dogman movie coming out, and they made a Cabin Underpants movie already. It's made by the same people who made the Cabin Underpants movie. I watched that on DVD. Yeah, we got that from Redbox. Me and Granny did one time. And that was one of the times when Granny was mad that you didn't come over because she thought you would like the movie. And then you watched them, and then I got you into it. But yeah, I got one of the books from the library, from my school library, I think, or I used to own one of
The other
them.
one too, Diary.
I want to know who's the found and
That had
Dogman.
multiple movies.
I want those.
I don't know.
Realize it.
We got the camera. We need to fight soon, okay?
That's it. Use your strength. With every effort, you hasten your end.
No more snappy.
Must scan the room for...
Batman must stop taking acid.
Yeah.
I tell you, Bruce, taking drugs ain't good for you. You took Venom in the comics, and now you're taking acid in the kids' game. Well, it's rated teen, probably for teen, or in for mature. I don't remember what it was rated for. Hi, Missy, Tiki. We can look it up later. I will, okay? With me, I'm gonna do the Wikipedia for this game at some point anyway.
Poison.
Yeah, you play GTA. San Andreas and 4 and 5.
Copperhead.
You play Batman
this
Arkham
way.
Knight, which is M for mature. You play Doom, and that has murder in it. He would don't want to see your ass, and I don't think you want to cut your crotch.
This one drop of
So
poison.
put your legs down.
I want to.
Now let's watch.
There. It's a powerful neurotoxin.
Called acid.
Alfred. Uploading analysis of a neurotoxin.
Henry, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Need you to synthesize an antidote.
It's
Your
copperhead
vitals
poison.
are off the charts. What happened? Never mind.
Venom.
Just get up to ground level so I can send in an airdrop. And after this, you're coming back here so I can have a look at you.
Me and Mom are going to do a podcast one of these days on the characters of this game series. Going through their history. I could probably do that
to get
into like
back
an audio, you know,
to ground
in
level.
universe type thing if we learn how to voice acting and try to, you know, like make our own story universe, sort of. You see, I'm like this. You can't scare me, you know? Like,
What would your father say if he could
shadows,
see
you
you
know?
now? Throwing away your family's hard-earned fortune on these frivolous nightly escapades.
You don't know what that is, people.
You're not this
So I
city's
gotta-
savior.
Before you start making jokes, I gotta explain what acid is. Acid is a hardcore drug.
Oh.
We don't do that in this house.
Well, I don't. I only drink soda and milk. And
We don't. Henry, it's not something you drink. Acid ain't a thing you drink, okay? It's a drug that people inject into them. With a syringe, I believe, right?
No.
What is it then?
It's a drug that's put on a piece of fucking paper that dissolves on your tongue.
Well, you can also inject acid.
No.
I thought you could.
No.
Oh, you can't? What's
It's
that?
pills and shit. That's heroin. and
Yeah,
shit
you can
that
inject heroin.
inject.
All the drugs are almost the same, people say, anyway, so.
good thing we don't take those.
We don't do drugs. Remember, kids, don't do drugs. Like Bill Clinton said, don't do drugs. And I'm not kidding, he had the don't do
What
drugs
about-
thing.
What about
Even though
George?
he did drugs.
What about George Bush?
He did drugs too!
What? Donald Trump?
Did drugs. Does drugs.
I don't know about Joe Biden though.
Oh no.
What? Do you like the smell of the taste of bell pepper?
Anyways, how you
Barack
doing?
Obama.
Since you're licking it off my fingers.
We gotta do this.
You're a Wayne. And a spoiled, wasteful disappointment of a Wayne at
Yeah,
that.
you're a Wayne. and
Have
you're
you
full of
forgotten
disappointment
what your
on Wayne
family
like that.
name stands for?
Wayne, Wayne,
You
Wayne,
disappoint me. You disappoint.
We're... If we were in the DC universe, we'd be the Cobblepots. After they lost their money.
Annual report.
Yeah, that's why I said we're the Cobblepots.
An evil gang, probably.
No, not evil gang. That's not what we're the
Can
Cobblepots.
we finish this?
Yeah.
We ain't rich like the Waynes. Trust me, if we were, I'll be in the Bahamas by now. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't
Someone
be
help me!
here. Don't you dare think about it, motherfucker.
You good.
Hey, you know
You
who's
could have
pregnant
saved
with
me.
Menard?
If you'd only come sooner.
Mom, you're not pregnant with Menard. They get weird cravings.
Brother!
Relax.
You paused that again.
Okay.
Now I won't watch it.
What were you doing?
I'm gonna watch it. And
You're no hero. A real hero would have saved me.
yeah, a real hero would save me.
Stop it.
You ain't a hero. A hero don't choke people out.
I didn't buy something.
Let me die. How many more must perish before you realize?
Can we get how she died? It's a fun game. Just look at her face.
She got burned?
No, look at her face.
That's what it looks like.
I bet she got
The
scratched.
mouth area of her face.
Oh, Joker.
Yeah!
She died there, Joker!
I mean, she blew up. Got blown up because of an explosion, but she was going to die anyway because she got Joker venom. Stop holding a finger gun to my head, motherfucker.
No, itchy.
Savior, you're a curse upon this city, a plague on all of Gotham. Leave us alone! We were better off without you. I'd still be alive without you.
No, you wouldn't.
Please.
Dad
have to
probably.
save me.
I mean, yeah, probably was not Batman. He wasn't. Who knows?
You. What's wrong with you? You couldn't save me. Why? Stop him. Are you still aware? Is that the best you can do?
Stop running over the table. Oh, man. There's more boss fights, so yeah. And this is a no damage and no death zone. That's why I picked this video, since we don't have no death scenes in it. No game over scenes. And no damage. So that's why I picked this one. Just so you guys can see how Batman would do it.
You are not gonna like what these
No, there's no damage, so no
Your
damage, no
skill
death.
means nothing.
Stop pumping the air.
I will pick you apart. This is a fight.
No, fuck it. We're
Fighting cancer.
not doing exercising right now.
You think your toys can save you?
We ain't peg banging either. Stop it. Watch the fucking video. Or I turn off your boss fights and you go to bed. Okay. Stop praying to the Lord. Over there with your hands like dear Lord, I wish for $10 million. I want to be rich like the Waynes, but I don't want their bad fortune. Anyways, here we go. Back to the hallucination.
Try again. Not so fast.
Since he's been poisoned, but so I wish if they added in like a health bar thingy, you know, since he has a health bar in the game, so just have it like to where they had his health like slowly decrease over time until he got the cure. Yeah, I think that would make it better. Like, make it like an actual better sort of fight, you know? I know. I'm doing off the ideas of the video. No, Harry, it's a no damage run. So that means the person who's playing it knows how to actually play the game. They memorize the movement of the bad guys, so they know how to take damage. If I'm losing trust, that's why there's no counters, no counter symbol. None of them! I would die to them all! Hang on, I could probably beat up. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. To certain people. Anarchy? He's just a kid who's an anarchist. I could beat his ass probably.
Who else?
When he gets down on the ground, if he's throwing the Molotov cocktail from his hiding area, then no. And he has a stun stick, but if you get that away from him, I could probably beat him up. And
Anchor.
no, he's a fucking mutant crocodile, man! How can I beat his ass? He's gonna kill me!
No,
No!
in the game.
Okay, no. You didn't say in the game. You said who from the game. So, I'm going to give you my second person. Jervis.
How would you beat him? He's not even here.
He's a fucking midget, and all he does is mind control, and it's crappy mind control at that. Okay, so if he don't fucking get his card shit on me, or a chip on me, I can beat his fucking ass.
How hard though?
I can fight a baseball bat and
Get
just go.
back to this so we can get done.
Stop trying to hurt me up. I can fight a baseball bat and probably go better.
It won't be long
How
now.
hard though?
Oh no.
No more chances.
I want to see Batman die. I want to see Batman on acid.
You think your toys can save you?
You got Disney on ice, we got Batman on acid. Stop it. Doesn't melt.
You should be.
I'm Michael Jordan here today. I'm here with McDonald's and I want to say stop it.
I didn't want to
Get
sit
some
here
help.
3-4 hours doing this shit tonight.
Right. I was watching a nerdy video after another nerdy video.
And you're thrown out.
It's the one before this one was an art video. And not nerdy. Okay, Batman got moved. Batman can... How the fuck is he so good at shit when he's supposed to be dying? He's poised and he's doing all this acrobatic bullshit. But when he's not fighting, he can very fucking walk.
Acrobatic bullshit.
That, but like, no. Before the fight, he's walking like this, like, ugh. But in the fight, he's like, what the fuck? How the fuck you doing this so fuck?
I don't want.
It makes no sense. I get it. You don't want a slow fighting Batman, but why is he walking slow then?
Batman.
Ah, stop hitting me.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyways, here we go now. My brain is
Can you? I see it.
You say you have to get to the ground level. Is he at ground level now? What the fuck, okay, now you're injecting something into your neck. I know it's a cure, Bruce, but you know also fucking your veins.
My poison is still in your veins and it will remain there as long as you live, which won't be very long.
Weak ass. Dang it, you see she was a cat, this is your wife.
You think these ties will hold me?
Maybe not. I'd like to see that evidence.
I know where he is. The Joker.
Tell me.
He's called a meeting. All the assassins will be there. When you set me free, I'll tell you where.
Thanks. I owe you one.
Right! I can tell you the location.
You already did.
I was right, so I don't know what you're calling about. You said it was cool. You
I
said
see
it
you
was
doing my best. Well done. But I'm afraid playtime. Come meet me at the bank so I can put a bullet in you and collect my prize. Oh, and in case you're thinking of backing out, I've got a hostage.
And how would I never played it? This really wants to put you the best. It's about to make if I
Get back to work. Relax. We got this.
I'm gonna have one more boss fight. Yeah. This wasn't magic shit. Oh, I know what this is. Inspired by. It's like the Two-Face and Harley Quinn boss fights from Arkham City.
Yeah.
When you sneak up behind them, you gotta do one stealth move, and you gotta grapple the fuck away. So they have numerous amount of fucking henchmen coming after you.
Because already after 11 days.
And only 11
He's
16.
disappeared. Find him.
I said one more boss fight after this.
You're not leaving here.
Which is Copperhead, which was some other day. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not, who knows.
No more excuses. You find him? Enough already. He's in the house. Hey, son of a bitch. All right, that's up now. Everybody run! Face to
Pussy.
face, at last. Well, I've got to say, I was expecting someone a little more intimidating.
You're
The
through
smoke is there
terrorizing
because
Gotham.
the smoke bomb down,
If fate's
fucking
decided
down.
today's the
So that's
day,
why I was still in
so
the,
be it.
you know,
Just finish me quickly, will ya?
Also, apparently Vince ain't the real Deadshot because of the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League game. But I don't care what the fuck that game says. I'm counting that as non-canon. It fucks up the timeline. Too much. And also it's kind of crappy. We'll see what I mean when I get to that part of the timeline. Bane! Royal Hotel. Oh yeah, I forgot Bane and multiple fights. So at least we can see the other Spanish person.
Nice of you to drop in. And just in time. He's mine, Payaso. Remember, you gave your word. You have 1 minute. Do they even have manners where he comes from? You see, it's a tradition in my house to open one present each on Christmas Eve. How about this one?
You also have the secret that you're in life as well.
How many lives did you just take? None. I think that was just a little stocking stuffer. A construction site blocking my view. But this one I've long waited for this moment. With your death, I will find peace.
Oh, I took
listen to you. The death of the Batman.
Let us see what you can do.
Not really. Cross, you use the player card. A lot of people hated this fight, and one of them suggested this fight. When I first played the game, how hard it is. I don't know. Neither have I.
I won't stand by and watch you kill yourself. I'm calling Captain Gordon.
No, not now. I revel in this. We are as two titans, gods who battle for the soul of this city.
Guys, can we move this along?
I see there is still something.
To explode. Yes. Now beat it out of him.
Gordon is on his way, sir. You have to hold Bane off until he arrives.
Was the night before Christmas and all through the house. Peter was...
I don't have Christmas Day to
Won't be
see my
anymore.
family.
When I'm done with him, I'll be coming for you, Payaso Loco.
See, I still like when he's psychopath. No. These men are Bane's mercenaries. Bane has his own group of people. Oh, some of them. Once you watch the fucking actual game, you'll understand. You don't have the. I never play. I can watch. If you get it. That or even a PS3. Because in this game, they have a gesture PS3 for no one. There's a Sonic Max DLC thing, you know? You're not getting any DLC. No. It's for Sonic Max only, you know? It's like Sonic
Looks like this is it. It was nice knowing you. Actually, no, it wasn't.
Anyways, we're gonna
Just ran out of time.
Now this is what I call a party!
This rooftop's getting too hot.
I'm looking.
That's good.
Looks like this is it. It was nice knowing you. Actually, no, it wasn't. You just ran out of time. Now this is what I call a
This rooftop's getting too hot. You got off easy.
Just where do you think you're going? Huh?
Philippa Giorgio, you're a tyrant. We knew that having you here would be.
Oh, back for more, eh? Why would you do that? Newsflash, I'm the one who's trying to kill you. Those were two very, very bad men.
Apparently, at this point, Joker would have a bullet in
You really don't want to know. They deserved death.
Apparently, you.
Just like me. Don't move, freak! I think he's talking to you. Take him down! Let me guess. He got away. Take him to Blackgate.
And Arkham Asylum hasn't been open yet. Now we go talk to Light Henry. And we go to bed.
Man, we'll start here next time.
Wait, Henry, we'll start off with Shiva next time.
Maybe we'll do it again tomorrow because you're not going to school with
Girl, why I'm so angry. So we're watching ADHD Anger is No Joke.
I watched it last night.
Okay, I don't care. You when you watched it, if you watched it last night, I'm watching it now.
Phone, are you okay? No, I wanted to send a message to a friend and his phone can stop correcting my words with his autocorrect. I'm just having the worst day of my life. Okay, that was intense. I'm sorry. Sometimes I really struggle to stay calm when I'm frustrated. Is that because of your ADHD? Well, actually, yes. ADHD does impact the way we manage anger. As you may know, ADHD can make us quite impulsive. I know, I've been to IKEA with you. Well, yes, that's the reason why so many people with ADHD struggle with impulse buying. You do really like buying new pillows. Our impulsivity can also explain why we tend to interrupt people when they are talking or why we blurt out things sometimes. Oh my god, a kitty pillow! That's because ADHD brains generally struggle with executive functions. What's that? It's like our brain control center. It manages a lot of different brain abilities like planning and organizing, managing time, retaining information, and controlling impulses. Whoa, that sounds like a very important part of our brain. Yes, it is, but for people with ADHD, sometimes it's not working that well. One part of the executive functions is the inhibitory control. What? Its job is to make us go through 3 steps before we do something. Stop, wait, and think. That way, when we are about to blurt out in the middle of a shop, for example, this part of our brain makes us stop, wait, and think. Maybe I should not shout so loud. But in ADHD brains, that process often gets hijacked and we end up acting before we can stop, wait, and think. Oh my god, a kitty pillow! But this can happen to everyone, right? Yes, of course. But for people with ADHD, it tends to happen more often and to have more negative consequences. Because shouting in the middle of an IKEA is not a big deal. But when this executive dysfunction mixes with anger, it's another story. I once got fired from a retail job because I was so mad at an annoying customer that I ended up shouting at them. Why were you mad? Because they were making a mess in the store, leaving unfolded clothes everywhere. I was tired and their behavior just pushed me over the edge. So you think you lashed out because you couldn't control the impulse? Yeah, but also because I felt that anger so strongly. Wait, you think that people with ADHD actually feel emotion more strongly? Yeah, more and more professionals now consider emotional dysregulation a core feature of ADHD. Emotional what? Dysregulation. It means we struggle to regulate the intensity of our emotions. ADHD brains process emotion differently. Studies show that the parts of our brains that handle emotion regulation, like the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, react differently in people with ADHD. When I was 12, I completely lost it because my dad ordered strawberry juice instead of strawberry syrup for me. The frustration hit me so hard that I burst into tears and anger. Adults expected me to manage that disappointment, but managing my emotions felt impossible. I was completely overwhelmed, and my brain too. I couldn't understand that it wasn't worth getting that upset. When I finally calmed down, the anger was replaced by something even worse. Shame. And that, right there, is where the shame-anger cycle starts. What's that? It's when we feel ashamed for overreacting, but instead of processing that shame, we lash out again. Then we feel ashamed again for lashing out. And the cycle repeats. Oh, that sounds exhausting. It is. And it damages our self-esteem over time. To break the cycle, we have to face our shame and admit it's hurting us. But that means being vulnerable, which isn't always easy, especially if you're around unsupportive people. That's why finding a safe space to explore emotions, like therapy, can be so important. And I guess it's even harder if you don't know you have ADHD. Exactly, not understanding why you react so strongly or why you feel so ashamed can be incredibly damaging. Living with undiagnosed ADHD can make it feel impossible to break out of that cycle. So if you wonder whether you could have ADHD but don't know where to start, my pre-diagnosis workbook is just the tool you need. I made it so you can have the support I wish I had when I started my own diagnosis journey at 29. The link is in the description. Check it out. So, are
Need
people
to
with
buy.
ADHD just uncontrollable
Actually, I'm
balls of
showing my
anger
ADHD.
ready to explode? Of course not. Everyone experiences these challenges
I just wanna buy
differently.
it.
Some people with ADHD are amazing at masking their emotions. Cultural backgrounds and upbringing also play a big role, but many of us do struggle a lot to stay calm in frustrating situations. Is there anything you can do about it? Definitely. There are many ways to improve impulse control and emotional regulation. Simple things like taking a deep breath, stepping away for a minute, or even squeezing a stress ball can help in the moment. And long-term habits like therapy, mindfulness, and meditation can make a big difference. It's not a quick fix, but with time and efforts, we can get better at managing our reactions. And honestly, just talking about it with people who understand can make a huge difference. You can even start this conversation right here in the comments. Breaking the shame around these behaviors is such an important first step. So, if you recognize yourself in any of these, you're not alone. Learning to manage these reactions takes time, but every small step counts. So, be kind to yourself. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more content about
That's an
ADHD.
actual yawn. Yeah, I slept in today. And it does the opposite for me when I sleep in.
I gotta pick your video so we can get this done.
What? I got distracted by the nice calming
I
music.
said pick your video so
Thanks
we
for
can get this
watching. You're welcome. Oh, because I don't want to get in trouble. Blah, blah. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Mist.
done. We don't grab legs.
I wasn't trying to. I was trying to get, and I had him by, the stomach, and when he moved.
Say, put on the video while I lay here with your mom.
Well, yeah, with your grandma. May I show them?
Mr. Miston and give him back.
Here's Mr. Mist. He my fur baby, and her grand fur baby. Okay.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Here we go now. It's a fight scene from the Batwoman show. You know, the one that we watched? Yeah.
You protect him? A man who sends so many innocents to their deaths?
The law will take care of it.
Yeah, I used to believe that too. Until the law turned me into a murderer.
The law's not perfect, I'll give you that. Doesn't mean you get to rewrite it in blood.
You trust the law so much. Why are you wearing that suit?
I'm gonna need backup.
What do you mean to say? He makes a good point.
No, for the judge. Get the judge into protective custody. Now.
Right. On it.
I like the axe. I don't know what it's actually called, people. They have a certain name for it, I know that.
Sweep the rest of the building.
Oh.
I think that's what it is at least.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
Are we done now?
Alright, one more video to show.
Back to the hustle.
Years and years ago, I intended to make an episode where I turned zodiac signs into angels, set in the same universe as my videos of turning phobias and various other things into demons. I never got around to it back then, but now I have a recurring storyline going called Fear of the Demon Hunters, set in that same world, and the Archangel Capri, implied to be the Capricorn Archangel, is one of the recurring characters. So, for the next chapter, I figured I was presented with a perfect opportunity to finally do this episode of turning zodiac signs into both angels and demons. Whether you've been following the Fear of the Demon Hunter storyline or not, I think you're gonna enjoy what I got today. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's
I'm
go.
not been following
Hit
it.
like if you want.
I'm sorry,
Subscribe
sir.
if you feel like. But either way, enjoy the show.
But yeah, it's demons.
First, I should say I understand any skepticism you both may have towards me and the other so-called archangels. Since the creation of the Predator Coalition of Demon Hunters, we have not been much direct help to you all. We have, however, been
love how
fighting
you
for the
voice
same
it
aims as you, eradicating all demons from this world in the hopes of making it a more peaceful place. Or, at least those of us who didn't convert still have that intention. Like the demons, we 12 original archangels were created by Arava. While she may now be more commonly called the Demon Queen or Fear herself, Arava was originally far more benevolent in how she attempted to help humanity. She gained her immense power at only the age of 7, over 700 years ago. A few years after acquiring them, she learned how to travel the globe with them and saw people who were hungry, suffering, and afraid. She wanted to help them all and attempted to do just that. She sent water to places in drought, she made dwindling crops flourish, and she halted treacherous storms in their paths. As she gained more control over her gifts, she realized she could not do it all herself. There were many places that needed her help, and despite all her talents, she could not be in 2 places at once. That was when she learned that she could create life. It was not easy for her. She spent many months trying and failing to make beings that could help her. She felt intuitively that this was something she could achieve, but had nobody to teach her how to use her gifts. Arava got to a point where she wanted to give up but knew she could not. As hard as it may be to believe, given all she's done since, she was desperate to help our world. She tried praying to the gods her people believed in on the small Polynesian isle from which she hailed, but received no guidance. It was only when she prayed for anyone or anything to help her that she felt she truly gained a sign of what she needed to do. She said it was as though the stars themselves spoke to her and guided her to create us. Well, it now seems apparent she drew inspiration from the zodiac signs in forging our bodies. In truth, she'd never heard of such things at the time. She simply forged us intuitively, and unlike the demons who would come later, when our bodies were made, something came into them that Arava could not create herself. Our souls. She hadn't given us power quite on the level of her own, but we could all transport across the globe in an instant, speak all languages of the world, and grant a sense of calmness and peace to whoever was open to our help. We also had our own unique gifts. My sister, Aquaraya, could create water from nothing. Vergali could visit any village or city and observe within moments of being there what they could do to fix their leadership structures, construction tactics, and farming practices to build a more sturdy community. Torbos had incredible senses and immense physical strength, only closely matched by Leora, who had strength, speed, and the power to create radiant flames to heat whole villages at a time with her presence. My own unique gift was physical resilience. I could stay awake and strong and agile for a week on end without needing rest. Our gifts were numerous and more developed over time, such as us all having invisibility to remain hidden from humans when needed. Like the young but determined girl who made our mighty bodies, we attempted to help humanity in any way we could. When Arava was tending to her own matters, I was regarded by the other archangels as our leader. Not that everyone in our band was thrilled about that. While it was subtle at first, Leora was clearly jealous that the others came to me for guidance. I was the most hard-working of us, but Leora saw herself as the most generous and courageous, which admittedly was likely true for a time. Really, though, I think she was simply envious that I was given more attention by our brothers and sisters. You see, while we took on the title of archangels after being referred to as such by multiple human communities, likely due to our glowing aura and wings, we are not infallible, godly beings who always do what is right. We have our flaws, and as time went on, and humans showed us less and less gratitude for our help, we all, at least to some degree, succumbed to these flaws. It was strange to me at the time, but the more I felt unappreciated by humans, the more events would arise to emphasize this feeling. Our siblings came to me expressing this same grievance. They said that no matter how much they helped a given village, it would soon after become fearful and demanding. No matter how much was given, they only appeared to be living happier lives for a short while before expressing fears that, in the future, their abundance would run dry. They suffered in the present by fearing suffering that may never even come in the future. It was frustrating, but in my own arrogance and short-sightedness, I simply told my siblings we needed to work harder and give more, and then the humans would be happy. Given my resilience, this came more naturally to me, and I didn't see how it strained both my siblings and even myself with unrealistic expectations of what we could do. Little did I know, Arava felt the exact same way. She tried working harder and harder, doing more and more for her own people and for as many communities of the world as possible, never feeling as though it were enough. And now I suspect that she took that as a sign that she herself was not enough. When my siblings were at a particularly low and disheartened moment, I sought Arava and found she'd vanished. Her own village looked as though it had been ravaged in a terrible storm, something she'd usually prevent, but the people had rallied around a young child among them who was leading the way in rebuilding. When I tried asking them where Arava had gone, they cursed me and demanded I ensure Arava nor my siblings ever returned to them. I likely could have insisted on helping them more, but I was too frustrated with humanity myself to try convincing them I had good intent. I left and tried seeking Arava out for months to no avail. Until one day I came to a burning village and was stopped when I attempted to help. Arava was there and halted my approach. She told me to just watch. This village had been subjected to droughts in the past. Many times Aquaraya had helped bring water and rains to them, but they continued to fear the dry weather's return. Anytime she'd come back, they'd scold her for not helping more. They'd grown greedy and entitled, and it had been heartbreaking to hear Aquaraya's recount. Now I was witnessing the terror of these people fleeing their crumbling homes and losing their loved ones to the flames. It was a horrible sight. But I cannot lie and say there wasn't a small part of me that felt some satisfaction in it. Soon I saw the source of the flames. This inferno was no accident. Swelled in fire and storming through the village was a beast, the first demon I'd ever seen. But it was also a form I recognized. It was a flaming humanoid lion with scorched stumps where wings once sprouted. It was Leora. Her warm, angelic form turned black and ashen, reveling in the destruction she was causing. I wanted to stop her, but again Arava held me back, demanding that I just watch. She said,
"We aren't gonna save them this time. They're gonna save themselves."
Curious, I did as I was told and watched. Leora soon concluded her rampage and called out to the villagers.
"Rebuild and I will return to burn it all down once more. You will never be rid of me and your homes will never stand again."
She then left the village and eventually the fire dwindled to nothing. It felt so horrible, seeing and feeling all the pain and anguish from those who'd survived. But I was told to watch on in silence over the coming weeks. As I did, I witnessed a shift in these once fearful and greedy people. A few humble farmers united together and started leading people in finding any injured and any items worth salvaging. They were people Aquaraya had claimed to be the most fearful of droughts, destroying their crops which had been completely burned to nothing in the fire. And yet, they were courageously uniting their people and encouraging them to rebuild, despite the threat of Leora's return. They inspired the others to prepare for it. Aquaraya herself and my other siblings were brought to watch on as well, to see how this new venture unfolded. Over a period of weeks, they rebuilt, forged weapons with which to fight, and even made massive basins in which to store water. In a rare day when rains came, they were able to catch much of it and keep it stored in a way they'd never attempted before, when Aqua Raya would simply give them water. After a month, they had fully rebuilt and were ready for a fight. Leora attacked them once again, but they hurled spears, swung swords, and were prepared with water to douse any flames she made, even hurling water to weaken her. Eventually, I could sense, as she could, that the fear this village once had was not gone, but overwhelmed by courage. So, she simply fled. The village then expressed excitement and elation that Aqua Raya claimed she'd never seen from them before. In the time thereafter, they thrived. Droughts would come, but they'd learned how to better prepare for them. They still had some of their fears, but they were minuscule compared to the determination of the people who lived on self-sufficiently. Giving this village an event worse than they ever could have feared had done more good for them than any amount of help we'd given in the past. Unfortunately, this same tactic did not always work. Arava and Leora had done the same thing in other villages and communities, and some never recovered. Some sank farther into fear and desperation. Even when this tactic did not work, Arava forbade us from helping. She stated,
"If they can't overcome their fears, then they should just die and get it over with. There's no point living out your whole life as a miserable coward who needs someone else to solve your problems."
I could not deny that at times this method of sending a demon after a fearful community did work wonders, but I could not believe that it was worth all the suffering caused when it didn't work. Many of my siblings agreed with me. Most of us stated we could not watch Arava intentionally torment a world she'd created us to help. Sadly, some of my other siblings were swayed, as Leora had been. She reveled in being the first of us to turn to Arava's new tactic, and gave, admittedly, quite the inspiring speech about why others should join her. Those who agreed became the first demon generals. Fear even showed them how they could create demon minions themselves by channeling the energy of fear in the air around certain people and communities. Scorpario was won over by this revelation. When Leora showed off some of the minions she'd made, Scorpario quickly grew jealous and wanted to lead bands of his own demonic minions. He became the next to join Arava's new course. Gemnita joined next, though clearly unsure of her decision. I refused, but the most adamantly opposed was Torbos, who wanted us to wage war on our demon-turned siblings. I held him back. I told him that we simply needed to work harder and faster than our converted siblings and show them that being loving and giving was still the best way forward. But even I grew cynical about our ways. Over the next century, I worked harder and harder, pushing my siblings and exhausting myself. I'd stay awake and working for humanity for months at a time. Instead of seeing hope arise, I became more resentful towards humans. The angrier and more bitter I became, the more reason I found to be as such. In that time, more of my siblings changed sides, becoming demons and clearly living far more relaxing lives as a result. I began to resent them as well for choosing the easy path. I did attempt to reason with Arava on multiple occasions, and she did bend to some suggestions. She believed her new path was superior, but she still respected my opinion as her kin. She had her demons reduce the scale of their attacks from whole villages down to individuals who they deemed needed to overcome their respective fears most. Often it would be one or a few people in a community who overcame their fears most wholeheartedly and took initiative to lead their people forward. So it didn't seem necessary to target entire villages. Because of this, her demons became the stuff of folktale and were not widely known, save by those who survived to have their lives changed by them. More and more demons were made in the hopes of helping more and more people grow, but it also resulted in more and more people succumbing to the demons and losing their lives in truly painful ways. My remaining Archangel siblings grew more disheartened. After Sargestor and Libra Kel changed sides, I reached a breaking point myself. I told those of us who remained that we could not allow more demons to be made. We had to cut them off at the source. That was the first time I lied to Arava, who now I could only see as her new title of Fear herself. I found Fear and told her I wanted to help her. I said that I was willing to change to her side and that I'd encouraged the rest of our siblings to do the same. She excitedly came to meet with us. Leora had come alongside her, which was unexpected, but I felt we could handle it. I started by attempting to play out the scenario as a ruse to lower Arava's guard further. But my brother Aristo was too impatient to wait. He drew the first of the angelic weapons we'd forged for this occasion. We'd not needed weapons before that day, but Cancelia had intuitively deciphered a way to create weapons for us that would be particularly powerful against demons, not realizing they were useful against all Fear's creations, even us. With Aristo having revealed our intent, I did not hold back. I drew my mace and went straight for Fear's skull, feeling all the anger and resentment I'd harbored both towards humanity and her boiling to the surface. Leora stopped me from harming her, and our other converted siblings revealed they were there watching as well, and fought back against us. The tension between us all had simmered below the surface for the last century, and now it was all coming out, with nobody willing to relent. That was the first time I ever saw one of my siblings slain. My sister Pysacia drove her trident through Sargestor's chest and ended his life. Sadly, Scorpario saw this and pierced his demonic tail through her heart while trying to fend off Aquaria's assaults. I was doing my best to handle Leora, feeling immense hatred for her for starting the trend of my siblings turning to demonic influence. To be honest, I was not a match for her strength and ferocity. My life likely would have ended that day as well, had she not been distracted by a call for help from Gemnita. Even then, turned into a demon, her cry for help sounded terrified. Leora turned her attention to help her sister, and I took my shot. I bludgeoned Leora's head in with my mace, not letting up until I was certain she was dead. It was only when my eyes then found Gemnita's, her horrified, fearful eyes, that I realized what I'd done. Stopping Fear and Leora felt like the right thing to do, but killing family certainly did not. Those of us who survived fled soon after. Over the centuries since, more of us have lost our lives on both sides, and now only 4 of us remain as archangels. And I'm not even certain which of my converted siblings remain. We turned our attention from helping humanity to mostly hunting demons, primarily going after demon generals to try and cut off the flow of new demons being made. Unfortunately, as you're well aware, more generals have been made, such as Soriaclus and Zuphiathan. Some of us were willing to go after our remaining demonic siblings. Others of us were too heartbroken from having seen some of them slain to target the others, and we focused on the new generals we had no relation to. In either case, our endeavor felt hopeless. We spent centuries killing demons just to see more arise. We thought we may have come up with a way to help humanity fight for itself when we combined our gifts together to create the 7 Gems of the Angelic. These could grant some select humans with powers like that of an archangel and help them detect where demons nearby may be lurking. Unfortunately, when Arava learned of this, she made a clear deterrent to discourage us from creating any more such gems in the future. Hence, the Demonitrix was forged. She made this gem of her own as one she could force upon a human that she considered to be weak-willed. Demons could then spontaneously spawn into their body to control them to attack other humans around them. If we were going to have empowered human agents to help us, then she would have the same. It was a thinly veiled threat to not make more gems. So while some gems are still out there, we let go of that tactic. Fear even banished some who acquired them from our world just to be rid of them. While Fear's demons were working mostly in secret by this point, maintaining her decision to have them hunt down individuals alone, There were still obviously many humans who learned that demons existed and sought to hunt them. In the late 1920s, the Predator Coalition of Demon Hunters was made by those who'd been targeted by demons, coming after them during a time of great fear in the world, now referred to as the Great Depression. Times such as this are like a buffet to demons, but as many humans have done, these people rose up to fight back. The Coalition began hunting demons even more efficiently than we Archangels ever had. They created networks of hunters all across the planet to track demon activity. They learned that weapons with great emotional value to the wielder are particularly effective against demons. Even with no powers to speak of, they were killing demons faster than we ever did. They even managed to turn Fear's demonatrix from a hindrance into an asset. She forced it upon the 10-year-old grandson of one of the Coalition's founders just to spite him. But the boy was not as weak-willed as she'd thought. He actually managed to control it, as you now have, Vivian. He used it for decades before finally losing his life in a battle against the demon general Zorieklis, who himself was eventually slain within the last year. We 4 Archangels remaining should have embraced this group, joined alongside them and assisted them in facing the demons. But we didn't. We don't even work as a unified group anymore. I pushed the others to work too hard and they all eventually stopped seeing me as a worthy leader. We may each have our own different reasons for not aiding the Coalition, but I now see that mine was simply out of petty pride and resentment. I saw it as my responsibility to eradicate the demons, and that if I pushed myself to work and fight harder, I could do it without the Coalition's aid. I also still harbored anger towards humans for all the times we'd helped and been met with ungrateful responses, leading to many of my
siblings. So it tells you the drawings. So I'm gonna see what they are. Okay, so Capricorn was the first one, and then we have Leo and sort of Sagittarius, and then this is Aquarius and Scorpio.
Things willingly becoming demons. In a way, I blamed humanity for that. I tried doing more and more and found the Coalition kept succeeding where I was failing. All my hard work was amounting to less and less. I hit another breaking point when I actually made an effort to help the Coalition. Or at least one new member. When he was in high school, the now rather vexing demon hunter, Clayton Costas, and his father became the target of a demon attack. Believe it or not, they both had an immense fear of germs. So, the monstrosity called Mesomucus attacked them both. Clayton's father succumbed to his fears and was devoured, but Clayton managed to overcome his and live. Despite the heartbreak of his father dying, Clayton continued to push through his lingering fears about germs, and it was inspiring to watch. He'd partake in events like mud runs to get stronger, and intentionally expose himself to situations in which he'd have to get messy in a way that would have petrified him previously. He also started trying to find any information he could on attacks like what he'd gone through, desperate to find and slay the beast that had taken his father's life and nearly his own. He reminded me of my fallen sister, Leora, and he himself is a Leo. He was brave in the face of danger, he was strong and had a fiery spirit. Little did I know he was truly more like her after she became a demon. Given his goal and his past demon encounter, he was the exact kind of person I assumed would get found and taken in by the Coalition eventually. I decided to try making him something of an ambassador between the Coalition and us Angels. I found and killed Mesomucus, then appeared before Clayton and told him as much. I granted him the sword he wields today and told him that an angelic blade was an ideal weapon for hunting demons. I told him of the Coalition and where their base was. I told him how my remaining siblings and I had been hunting demons for centuries. I intended to tell him the entire history of our kind. But he interjected, and his response was far from what I expected. His exact words remain etched in my mind. If you've had hundreds of years to stop these things and you haven't, then what good are you? Stay out of my way and watch me do your job for you. I was baffled. He took the blade I'd given him, went to the Coalition's island base, and claimed he'd found it through his own research and cunning, giving no mention of our encounter. He claimed his sword was a family heirloom, and it had gained its glowing aura after he'd used it to slay Miso Mucus, claiming that demon's defeat for his own. I'd had humans be ungrateful to me before, but this was easily the most infuriating. He was initially
I don't find that as ungrateful. I mean, you're still alive, right?
But he's lying. So it is ungrateful. Because he gifted him the sword.
Well, yeah, but you're still alive. Okay, so if he didn't, if he told the truth, he may be dead. I get it, the story.
As a heroic hunter, despite his overt arrogance. Unfortunately, that arrogance appeared as confidence, and made Koshmara Naroi quite attracted to him. Mara may be widely praised now, but back then she was simply a researcher for the Coalition, and was enthralled by Clayton's skills and boldness. I tried to just ignore this. I thought I had to do more. Clayton's infuriating attitude seemed like more proof that I should not trust humans, and I fell back onto the idea that I simply needed to work harder, do more, be better. But I eventually realized that I was simply falling into the same pattern I always had, thinking that simply working harder and harder and harder would somehow finally get the job done. That was when I decided to retreat from the world. The Coalition was doing my own work better than I anyhow, and I realized that if I was ever going to help end the tyranny of demons, I'd need to do it from a different state of being. My way was not working, and it never would. Despite my own arrogance of thinking I was a higher being than humans, I accepted that I had been born from the mind of a child. Aratha had made us from the same state of consciousness she'd been in, one of never feeling as though she were doing enough. Part of that was still in me, and I realized I'd keep playing out situations where I could never do enough until I changed my outlook at its core. I studied various human philosophies over the next few years, studied priests, monks, Taoists, Zen masters, philosophers, and used all I learned to rewrite my own mind out of its old obsessions and into a state of acceptance. I accepted that I had limitations, and, well, in some contexts, pushing through them.
I love how his art got better, to where he can make now, like, a battle scene, with multiple things and just, like, 2 or 3 of them, So, congratulations, that's good. This is actually a good story. I didn't think a demon story about Zodiac symbols would be that good. Maybe I need to do this, like, what if demon stories and make my own demon universe. I mean, I have a DC demon story thing, but maybe I need to change it and just make it a whole bunch of, Also, yeah, and I'll tell you how it goes. The only superhero who's a demon hunter right now is Green Arrow. Yes, we are. I'm saying, no, but the only demon hunter that I have right now in my mind is Green Arrow. The professional archer, yes. And Count Vertigo. I wanted to just do a Green Arrow villain, so I chose Count Vertigo. He is who would be a gas-type demon who's green. Because he sells a drug that's called Vertigo, which makes people hallucinate before they die, so I was going to add the drug into, the demon part and stuff, so yeah.
As valiant, ignoring that I had them was ignorant. It also limited me further to ignore them, and could possibly do even worse still than that. If I kept endlessly and obsessively working to find an end to demons, ignoring my own well-being, then eventually I'd work myself into insanity, or the same cynical outlook that turned Aratha into fear herself. My obsession with working harder had even driven my own family away, on top of achieving none of the success I sought. In addition to that, the relentless work I'd been doing had only helped fuel my resentment towards humanity, as my frustrations mounted on top of each other endlessly over the centuries. Because of this, the lesson of acceptance both taught me that I was enough as I was, but also led me to the next most important lesson, one I have already imparted onto you, Vivian. The lesson of feeling repressed emotions as a path to finally letting them go. Letting go of the pain I'd unknowingly clung to and identified with for so long. The lesson stated that whatever negative feelings you've repressed into your subconscious, your soul will seek out events in life that help you to feel those feelings and release them. If you don't take the external event as a prompt to feel those feelings, then more such situations would be brought to you. So I allowed myself to feel all the hopelessness and shame and guilt and anger I'd harbored for so many years. The more I allowed myself to feel these things over periods of months, the more light I became. I did want further proof that this was the right path forward, and so it came in a profoundly veiled way. One night, now that I was actually allowing myself to rest more often, a dream came to me, urging me to go to Koshmara. A drive pushed me to tell her the history of angels and demons and where she could find Fear herself. I thought the dream strange, but I was going through so much change in that time that I deemed this may be divine guidance. Perhaps this was a higher power giving me the path to end Fear's reign, as well as hopefully get Koshmara away from that wretch Clayton. I did as I felt guided to do, talking to Koshmara. I told her more and more as she made it clear that she was not even intending to hunt Fear herself. She simply wanted to speak to the creator of demons and learn more about them. It was an unusual and heartwarming thing to hear. I thought perhaps Mara would finally be the person to convince Fear to end this cruel path she'd gone down for so long. I was excited by what may transpire as Koshmara set off to find Fear. Unfortunately, it soon became clear that this dream I'd had was actually sent to me by Fear herself. Fear had wanted me to send Koshmara to her so that Fear could imbue Mara with the demon curse that she's now known for. This made me furious, but I did my best to stick with my new teachings. I thought, what if accepting even this seemingly terrible outcome can allow something good to come of it? I did not know better than to ignore this dream and could not have done better in the moment. Shame and guilt arose, but I felt them, released them, and accepted what had occurred. Doing so allowed me to see the beauty in what came to be from this event. Fear herself had cursed Koshmara with the intent of making Mara a pawn in her schemes, but instead created the greatest demon hunter the world has ever seen. The Coalition feared Koshmara for some time due to her demonic abilities, but this also meant she and Clayton parted ways from their romantic entanglement as he was repulsed by her, despite her using her curse exclusively to hunt and kill other demons. She was finally free from him. Soon after, Koshmara found friends who lovingly accepted and embraced her demonic abilities, and from what I've seen from afar, she is now happier and more confident than she's ever been. The way I interpret it now is that her soul required this curse to be hers in order to live her own fullest life and help so many others with it. I now see that was the lesson I needed. Even something that felt like a massive failing on my part ultimately resulted in something wonderful. When I felt I had finally learned enough, I re-sparked an urge to go back and hunt demons again, this time with a self-assuredness that I needn't work myself into insanity to achieve good things. I started by hunting Zuphiathan, unsure of why, but accepting that he felt intuitively like the right mark. I wanted to try calling upon my family again to work alongside them as the new me, but before I could, I felt a new calling. That was when I sensed that Fear had lost much of her powers. That, as you know, eventually led me to actually getting a chance to help Arava change for the better as well. And, of course, to meeting and working alongside you two. Capri gestured to Vivian and Jax, sitting on the opposite side of a campfire outside Capri's cottage home where they were all staying. Arava was asleep inside, and Capri had taken the opportunity to tell both Viv and Jax everything that had led him to help their hunt of Zuphiathan and the other demon generals. I know that I and my siblings are not true archangels, but now I almost feel a sense as though I am being guided by genuine angels. It is as if, now that I have stopped demanding that I achieve things through my old methods, I am being guided to find success in my endeavors more easily. I still have my doubts and fears, but I am doing all I can to be better now so I can help people and genuinely enjoy the process for a change. He looked over to Jax. If you still have anger towards the Archangels and to me in particular, I understand, Jax. We should have been more help to the Coalition all along, but all I can promise is that I am trying to do better now. I am trying to act like the angel I've always appeared to be. Jax shuffled his feet against the ground. Thanks, Capri. That actually does help a lot. I kinda thought you angels would all have the attitude that you knew better than us humans just because you were angels. It's cool to hear that you actually learned to be better by studying stuff us humans have written and taught. I also like that perspective on Koshmara's whole demon curse, but I definitely still have some guilt about how I acted towards her. Anyway, it's also nice knowing that our weird group here all has something in common. Viv turned to him. You mean that we're all trying to do better than we did in the past? He chuckled. No, that we all think Clayton is an absolute tool. The three of them shared a quiet laugh and soon after doused the fire to go inside and get some sleep. Capri may not have regained the trust of his family to be a good leader yet, but he at least had new friends who were happy to have him hunting alongside them.
Okay, Ma. We ain't done yet. You gotta pick which one is your favorite angel and which one is your favorite demon.
Demon is the lion.
Yeah.
Angel would be the Pisces lady.
The water one? Mm-hmm. My favorite demon is, of course, the lion, since I'm a Leo. But I have to pick the, not the Pisces. No, that's a Capricorn. Sorry. That ain't the... No, Mom, that ain't the water one. That is the flying one, I believe. But I have to pick the Aquarius. Yeah, the Aquarius, okay? That's my favorite. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.